to get that commitment to excellence and do something with it. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
You would think I subsidized Tony's part with me. Actually, Tony is a good friend and those are very kind words, but I can't take credit for that. All of you know that each of you in your own way has contributed so much to make this possible, and something like this is only possible because we all have a common love for the game of basketball, and it's easy for us to rally behind this. And so many people, really and truly, most of you wouldn't remember, but some of the people in the room know that people like Bob Story, Steve Smith, Bob Eskew, and any number of people carried this club for 10 or 15 years before I came along. And it was pretty far along when I got a hold of it, and we just had a camaraderie with a group of people, and together we made this possible. We are really proud of it. I appreciate Tony's kind words. Next of all, what we'd like to do is to recognize Alex Inman. Alex is here on behalf of the Delta Holiday Classic. Now, folks, this tournament has been around a number of years. It was conceived, I guess, probably 15 or 20 years ago. I was on the initial committee when the Cotton States Classic people had this thing. And then Kuppenheimer took it over. And last year it was Chief Eagle, and this year it's Delta. And we're so happy that Delta, I told Alex when he told me a month or so ago that Delta got into this, I couldn't think of a more natural fit, for a company like Delta to get behind this thing, because we have quality teams, and this year is no exception. And I'm just extremely proud that Delta has agreed to do this. And I'm going to let Alex tell you a little bit about the great weekend of basketball that will be right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Actually next weekend.
Jackie's right about that, and I guess I can boil my message down into 4 words. The Cats are coming. If you like college basketball, then you will want to be in the Dome on December 21st to watch the Kentucky Wildcats. And we've got a few fans out here. You can hear that already. Mr. Hatton over here, of course, is wishing we could play and have them in the Dome every day, 3 months running. December 21st in the Georgia Dome, the Delta Airlines Holiday Classic, and Jackie mentioned Delta coming aboard this year. We could not be happier because we've always viewed this event as being a hometown basketball event, with Georgia and Georgia Tech both taking part, and Delta is our hometown airline. And I think it's a perfect match, and I think it will certainly be an outstanding day and evening of college basketball. 5 o'clock on that Saturday afternoon, Tubby Smith's Georgia Bulldogs taking on the BYU Cougars, followed at 7:30 by the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and the Kentucky Wildcats, the reigning national champions. And I know if you look through your program, you'll see Ron Mercer, who was a Naismith winner on the high school, or the National High School Award winner 2 years ago, and of course he'll be in action for the Cats that day. I want to thank Delta, certainly, for their sponsorship this year. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution has always been a big supporter of the Tipoff Club, and they are our presenting sponsor this year. Bell South is aboard. We have Marriott Marquis, Nike, Jeff's friends at WAGA, Fox Channel 5 are helping us as well. It's going to be an outstanding day. If you're a ticket holder to the Holiday Classic, you can also attend Sports Fest for free. That'll be an interactive fanfare next door in the Congress Center, running all afternoon long before the games. Interactive fanfare with games, contests, video games. Come and check it out, and it's all free with your admission. The last thing I would like to ask you all is kind of a business proposition, perhaps, for some of this room. We are actually in need of a couple of team hosts. Team hosts are important people to our organization, and we're looking for adults who could perhaps take Friday off from work, the 20th, to host BYU or Georgia as they practice in the Dome that day. Join us for the team dinner. What they are is they're our liaison to the coaching staffs and the teams. It's an opportunity to get to meet the coaches and to help us make sure that the teams are in the right place at the right time. And you'll also sit behind the team benches on Saturday in the Dome. If you're interested, I actually have to scoot tonight. Unfortunately, any of you planned events before, we're 12 days out. I have to go down to a meeting that starts in 25 minutes back at work. But you can call the Tipoff Club offices tomorrow, and Jackie and his staff know how to get a hold of us if you're interested in being a team host. Having said that, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations to the honorees, and we hope to see you all on Saturday, December 21st for the Delta Airlines Holiday Classic.
If there is such a person in the audience, you can see me actually tonight before you go home and give me your name and number, because they wanted this information actually right now. In fact, they would like to have it by tomorrow so that they can make a decision. If we don't have somebody in the Tipoff Club that would like to do this, then of course they'll try to go other places.
Rick may take George, Jack. Halfway home.
That's great. We like to have people that love basketball and that can talk the language and make the people feel comfortable. Be a good experience for you. We have a number of people in the audience, and I'm reluctant to do this because I will overlook a number of people, but one other person is here tonight that I personally appreciate and has been a part of something he's been involved in, World Championship basketball. David Venturella with Lang & Associates is trying to bring this to Atlanta a little bit later, and some work is being done on that, and we just mentioned that tonight. We'll have other announcements as we get further along. We're trying to actually be the designated city. This process pretty much like the Olympics, but we appreciate David and Rusty Gordon with Total Olympic USA, who is also on that committee working with him, being with us tonight. I believe that I've covered all of the announcements. Again, I hope that you will take your program home with you. We have institutional sponsors, maybe I didn't mention them, high schools and colleges in the state of Georgia, and actually a few across the United States that have actually joined as institutional members to be in support of the Tipoff Club. I'd like for you to pay particular attention to those high schools. Those are the schools usually that do well in basketball because of that little extra effort that is reflected there. We have with us tonight a person that is a friend of the Atlanta Tipoff Club that actually finish up the MC duties tonight. And he will be no stranger to those of you in Atlanta, which would include most of you in the room. It's Jeff Hollinger, sports director with Channel 5, and he is here tonight to be with us and to MC and to give recognition to our honorees and to introduce our guest speaker and whatever else is on his heart. So let's welcome Jeff Hollinger with Channel 5.
Jackie, it's great to be here. Always good to be at the Atlanta Tipoff Club, and it's great to be around basketball people. Basketball was a very important part of my life growing up. It got me to college. Everything positive in my life, at least in the first half of my life, came via basketball. So I encourage all of you kids who say, geez, I'm playing a lot of basketball, but I kind of wonder where this is leading me. The answer is you don't know, and certainly in my case, it led to a career, and it led to some opportunities I never would have had. I might not have been able to go to college without basketball. My father was unemployed when I was about 17 and 18, and basketball, grant and aid, got me to school for a couple of years. So maybe you guys will be fortunate enough also that basketball will lead you down a path of gainful employment as it has done for me. My role tonight is going to be traffic cop. I'm going to try and keep everything moving. I don't want any kids going to school tomorrow saying, I'm a little sleepy because that guy from Channel 2, Jeff Dowell, was a little bit slow and I'm a little bit tired. So we're going to try and keep everything moving tonight. We've got a lot of people to recognize, a lot of awards to hand out. And we also want to introduce our prime speaker tonight, the one, the only. You may be the only man in sport to have the complete resume. Introducing Lenny Wilkins is a Herculean task because he has done so much for so long. A great player, a great coach with organizations that always didn't give him great players. An NBA world title, more wins than anyone, and now a gold medal. Lenny Wilkins is a community activist, locally, nationally, and internationally. His is a remarkable life. Please welcome Lenny Wilkins.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeff, for the kind words. Certainly it's a pleasure to be here this evening and share some time with all of you. A couple of years ago, Jackie Bradford called Pete Babcock and said that they were looking for a speaker, looking for someone to come over and talk, but they wanted someone who would keep it light, no message at all. And so Pete says, I have the guy for you. And they asked me to come over, so here I am. But certainly it is a pleasure to be home. We begin the season, we've been on the road quite a bit, and it's nice to have a stretch like this where we can be at home and catch our breath a little bit, get reintroduced to our families, and by the way, get some wins as well. I'm not sure how much of you know my background, but I grew up in New York, in Brooklyn, where the Brooklyn Dodgers were the biggest thing when I was a kid. And certainly basketball was second and started to come on, and all of us got very interested in it. And basketball became also a stepping stone for me as well. It helped me get a scholarship to college, and from there to get a degree in economics, and eventually to get an opportunity to play in the NBA. And so it's been a great experience for me. I not always was sure that I wanted to be a coach. In fact, I didn't think I really wanted to be a coach when I was a young player in the NBA. And the reason being was that coaches always seemed to act very strange to me. You know, when I was in college, my college coach, he would pull his hair out, he would punch his legs, you know, he was jumping up and down on the bench all the time. And then when I got to the pro game, the guys were doing the same thing. They were acting crazy. And, you know, I can remember one time I was a player for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we had a coach by the name of Bill Fitch. You may have heard of him. He's still coaching in the NBA. And we were playing the New York Knickerbockers in New York, and the Cavaliers had never won. They're an expansion team, and never won in New York. And the team that we were playing at that time was a team that had won the championship. Earl Monroe, Walt Frazier, Dave DeBusschere, Bill Bradley, Willis Reed. I mean, a great team. And in this game, it started out very close. Bill Fitch got excited, jumped up and down, yelling, screaming, pulling his hair, and got a technical foul. And as the game went on, all of a sudden, as happens at times, we went up by 14 points. And Bill was delighted. It looked like we were going to get our first win in New York. And all of a sudden, the Knicks started to make a comeback. And Bill really got excited, and the referee warned him several times to stay seated, stop yelling. And Bill just couldn't take it. He's jumping up and down. Finally, the referee had enough of Bill Fitch. And so he blew his whistle and came running over, and he was about to tell Bill Fitch he was out of here, and Bill saw him coming, and he jumped up off the bench. He leaped up on the press table. He ran down to where our announcer was, a guy named Joe Tate, and he grabbed the mic from Joe, and he says, "I don't know what this mic jockey is telling you people back in Cleveland, but we're getting screwed here tonight." And another time, you know, you watch these coaches and you say it can't be. Another time, Mark Price was playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers, intercepted the ball from the Milwaukee Bucks, and at that time, the coach was Del Harris. And as Mark stole the ball and he's headed to the basket for a fast break layup, Del Harris just couldn't take it because they'd been making mistakes all game long. He ran out on the court and fouled Mark. And so, you know, coaching, I just wasn't sure that I wanted to get into that category. In fact, when I came here to take the job as the Hawks coach, I talked to Bobby Weiss. And, you know, and I was asking Bobby what it was like, and he was telling me, he says, "Oh, what a tough time it was his last year here." You know, he said it was really difficult. I mean, they couldn't win. Things were just happening. I mean, they're losing games all the time. And, you know, he said that it was really so bad that he didn't want to come out of the house. And he said one day he was getting ready to go to the office, and he was getting dressed, and he was rushing, and he put his shirt on and went to button his cuff, and the button fell off. And it was that kind of day. And so he's rushing and grabs his sport coat and puts that on and went to button it, and another button fell off. You know, and he ran out to the car to get in, and he went to grab the handle, and the handle came off. He said, you know, it was so bad that he didn't want to go to the bathroom that day. So, coaching can give you gray hair, and of course, in some situations, no hair at all. I can remember one time I was coaching Cleveland, and all our players were out hurt. Something similar to what we experienced in the beginning of the season. But everybody was out hurt. Brad Doherty was out hurt. Larry Nance was out hurt. Mark Price was out hurt. Craig Elo was out hurt. And the only starter we had in the lineup was a guy named John Williams. And the very first play of the game, John Williams gets poked in the eye, and he has to leave the game. And we're playing the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. It's their championship team with Dumas and Isaiah and all those guys, you know, Lambeer. I mean, great team. And things are going bad for us. I mean, we're throwing the ball away. We can't do this or that. And we got guys on the floor, just to give you an idea who the players were. There was a kid named Winston Bennett, Chucky Brown, Milos Babic, Steve Kerr. I mean, we had guys that they weren't household names. But my assistant coach, who was really normally calm, Dick Helm, Dick was beside himself, and he jumped up and he ran up to me, because I find it real difficult to sit down some games. And he said to me, he said, they're not doing anything we want. They're not running this, they're not running that, they're not defending. And he stopped for a second and he looked out there and he says, by the way, who are those guys anyway? So you know, coaching can do that to you, and I really wasn't sure I wanted to be a coach. Now, I know that a lot of times when I come out on the floor, people sometimes think that I might be a little bit aloof or a little bit cold. And it's really not that. It's just that when I come out on the court before a game, I have tunnel vision. And I got that a long time ago. And the reason I got tunnel vision was that when I was a player coach many years ago, and in the game, we were playing this one team, and it was going to be our first win. And we're up by 20 points with about 4 minutes to go. And in the game, I'm excited, and I decide to do what I see all the other teams do when they get up by 20, is I take everybody out, the starters, and I put the bench in. And so as the bench is in the game, and normally what happens is first guy gets his hands on it, thinks he's open, so shots are going up from every direction. And all of a sudden, our 20-point lead goes down to 8. And there's about 3 minutes to go. Now, I'm beside myself. I wasn't as calm as I am today. I was yelling, screaming. You know, I went down to the end of the bench. I was upset, and I know that I have to call a timeout, you know, but you go through the antics. And as I got down to the end of the bench, I happened to look into the stands underneath the basket. And it just happened. I looked and I saw this guy sitting there, and we made eye contact. And as soon as the guy saw that we made eye contact, he jumped up and he did like this here to me, and he yelled, "Call timeout, stupid." Well, you knew damn well I'm going to call timeout then. So I went back and I sat down, and I figured I'll put up with this for another 24 seconds and then I'll call timeout. But as happens, we got the lead back. We went back up by 20. I didn't have to call a timeout, but it taught me a very good lesson. And that was to leave the fans alone. Don't make eye contact with them. Don't even engage in conversation. So that's why when I come out sometimes, I have this tunnel vision. I just look straight ahead. But certainly, there are the ups and the downs. And you can have some rewarding times as well. And I can remember the year that we won the championship in Seattle. Well, that earlier, before we won it, we were playing in a game. We had played the Los Angeles Lakers down in Los Angeles. We had beaten them. It was a close game. And now, a week later, we're playing them in Seattle. And I felt it was really important for us to win. We'd have a psychological edge on them. And so it's a close game. The Coliseum is packed. People are going crazy. It was so intense. The electricity was in the air. You could feel it. 4 minutes to go. It's going back and forth between 1 point, 2 points. I'm on the edge of my seat, and all of a sudden I feel someone tap me on the shoulder. And I knew my assistant coach was there, and we had security, and I couldn't imagine who it was. So I turned around and I looked, and it was my son, who was 10 years old at the time. He was a ball boy. And I turned around and I looked at him, and he said, "Dad, I'm hungry. Can I have $1 for a hot dog?" Well, I gave him $1 for the hot dog. I'm just a dad, that's all. To him, nothing else was important. But it was, I say it's a rewarding thing, but also it keeps you humble too. It lets you know that you may think that what you're doing is so important, but to him, I was just his father. But that was a great memory for me, and eventually we went on and we won the championship. I do want to take time to congratulate all you honorees. Certainly there are huge challenges before you, and it's great. And you're dreamers. You're dreaming dreams, and that's why you're here tonight. And the thing that I would tell you is that what got you here is your attitude. And to me, attitude is everything. It's what makes you who you are. It's how you view yourself, okay? How you see yourself. So your attitude, can help you to be a winner or to be a loser. It's strictly up to you. And tonight, you're all winners here. So the right attitude allows you to hear what people say, to work with people, okay? And also, it will always help you to see that the glass is half full and not half empty. It allows you to be on your way in life, okay, instead of being in the way. The right attitude helps you to learn early in life that courage is important, okay? It's the first of all human qualities necessary in all of us, okay? All of us human beings. Now, I learned early to have courage, to be accountable for who I am and what I do. I learned also to set some realistic goals, not to make excuses for myself. And you young people here evidently don't make excuses, because you wouldn't achieve what you have achieved tonight. So the right attitude will help you make the right choices. The choices you make today will dictate the type of life that you will lead. So remember, it's not what you are that holds you back, okay? It's what you think you're not. Life is like a game. And I challenge all of you to play it. Life is also a puzzle. And I would challenge you to solve it. Life's a gift, so accept it. And good luck.
Thank you very much, Coach. We appreciate it. We appreciate your words of wisdom. And we are now ready to present the awards. Is everybody ready? A lot of fidgety kids out there. Do you want to stand up and stretch before we do this final thing? Huh? All those in favor say aye. All right, let's stand up and stretch for a moment. We are going to announce not only individuals, but also teams. We're going to begin with the individuals who will assist me tonight. We have Scott Barnard, who is the prep editor of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Hello, Scott. Howdy. And we also have Tony McIntyre, the president of All American Specialties. And I know these kids, the last time I was here at the Tipoff Club, Coach Wilkins, you graciously stood down there and helped give out some of these plaques. I know these kids would love to have a handshake or to say that in their lives they got to have an award handed out by you. Is that okay? Okay. All right, here we go. Everybody ready? We begin with the Atlanta Tipoff Club's AAU Teams of the Year, the girls' team of the month, the Atlanta Celtics, 12 and under. The head coach is Charlie Glass. I'm going to mention all of the players on this team for their outstanding play. These young ladies are talented, and they have bright futures, and this past season they won the Georgia Parks and Recreation State Championship and the Atlanta Basketball Classic. They were runners-up at the state AAU and finished 9th at the AAU Nationals. Marion Boatner, Ashley Floyd, Anika Jawara, Charnel Johnson, Monica Pope, Christina Roberts, Kemba Sidhu, Shaquata Smalls. I hope I said that okay, Shaquata. Did I say that correctly? Okay. Nurfidi Walker and Shataya Watson. So let's have a big round of applause. Girls, I hope I didn't name them. The co-boys keep them up. The Atlanta Celtics 14 and under. The head coach is James Clark. The assistant coach is Norris Bell and Emmanuel Smith Jr. These freshman accomplishments during the spring and summer were magnificent. They won every major tournament they participated in. The Carolina Invitational, the Midwest Future Stars, the Atlanta Basketball Classic, the AAU State, and the prestigious AAU Nationals. It's Michael Barnes, Travis Booker, Darrison Ellison, Anthony Meredith, Jamie Moya, Chris Perry, Anthony Platt, Gerald Riley, Robert Swain, Demetria Smith, Emmanuel Smith Jr., Ralph Walton, Dennis Young, and Kayla Young. So if you guys would stand up quickly, we'll acknowledge your coach as well as the team. Way to go, guys. The co-boys team of the month, the Atlanta Celtics 16 and under. Head coach is Wallace Prather. The assistant coach is Willie Reese. The Atlanta Celtics 16 and under boys AAU team is the most successful team in the history of the state of Georgia. As 11-year-olds, they won the Nationals. Over the next 4 years, they made the Final Four 3 times, finishing 3rd twice, 4th once. This past summer, they took the nation by storm. They were again crowned national champions. This record for them, 40 and 5. How about a round of applause for the following team members: Carol Cooper, Andrew Davis, Antoine Dixon, Tony Durham, Santos Hampton, Donnell Harvey, Edward Keith, Willie McIntyre, Dwight Platt, Wallace Prather III, Charles Sanders, Omar Saleh Mans, Jarvis Smith, Anthony Thomas, Hollis West, and Freddie Williams II. Congratulations, guys. Okay, here we go. We're going to begin with the ladies, the Metro Girls Prep Team, and some of our great honorees. And not only will I mention their names and they can come up here and get the plaque, but also some of their individual accomplishments, which are remarkable indeed. We begin from Dunwoody, Sylvia Allen, 25 points in one game scored so far, right? 25 points, 9 rebounds per game, 6 steals. Way to go, Sylvia. Kelly Burrell from Chattahoochee. Her high, 21 points in a game, 5 steals, 8 assists. From Mount Zion, Danielle Fenderson, 15.5 points per game, 9 steals. She shoots 54% from the field. Not bad. April Fleck from Burkmar, 20 points per game. This coach, 90% from the free throw line. 90% from the line, wow. LaMegan Kent from Lovejoy, 14 points per game, 5 assists per game, 6 rebounds per game. Jamie Krupa from South Gwinnett, 13 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and she is signed with Georgia Tech. Any regrets about that? Still feeling good about it? Okay, all right. Terlinda Lowe from Crimp, 16 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 2 blocked shots per game. Mary Beth Lysette from Morrow, 25 points per game. She had 33 points in the finals. Smith and Street Magazine Honorable Mention All-American. Leslie McElrath from Campbell, 22 points per game, and the 1996 leading scorer and rebounder. LaShawn Mincy from Stone Mountain, 50% from the three-point line. How about that? 83% from the free throw line, and 6 steals per game. Tristan Montgomery from Cartersville, 21.3 points per game, 4 assists per game, and 3 steals. Great consistency from all of our honorees. Jocelyn Penn from Meadow Creek, 22 points per game. How about this young woman? 72% from the field, 10 rebounds per game. My. Rachel Roberts from Brookwood, 20.2 points per game, 10 rebounds per game. She has had one high game where she scored 26 points. Hey, how about some bigger hands? Come on. That's my team. Chandra Rouse, Greater Atlanta Christian, 15.8 points per game. There we go. 26 points in the championship game. An outstanding three-point shooter. Janelle Walton from Etowah, 1,000 career points. 31 points and 10 boards in the semifinals. Led in scoring and rebounding for 3 years. Let's give it for all of our young men. Here we go, girls. Now the Metro Boys prep team. Deantuan Beasley from South Quad. South. 8 boards per game, 5 assists, and 3 steals per game. Chris Boispain from Brookwood, 16.7 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, and 6.7 assists. Ian Chadwick from Parkview, 20 points per game. Consistency indeed this guy's game, 4.5 assists and 5.5 rebounds per game. Gregory Clark from Landmark Christian, 10 rebounds per game, 3 block shots, and he is shooting 55% from the field. Gregory Clark. We'll make sure that Gregory gets his award tonight. Right, Jackie? Okay, we'll give that to you. Carlton Griffin from Sandy Creek, 6.3 rebounds per game, 1.6 steals per game, and a GPA, that grade point average, the big number here, 3.5. Joe Hicks from Douglasville, 27 points per game, 12 boards, 6 assists per game as well. Wow. Evan Howard from Towers, 22.5 points per game, 4 assists per game, and 5 boards per game. Matt Medium from Loganville, showing us indeed where is Loganville. Here are the Red Blazer. We see him. Here he comes. 24.5 points a game, 14 rebounds, and he led the team in 3 straight wins. Congratulations. From Paulding, it's Nick Perkins, 20 points per game, 12 rebounds, and his free throw average is pretty good too, at 16 for 19. Kyle Perry from South Gwinnett is averaging 15.2 points per game. He has 7 assists and 4.3 steals per game. Jason Prentice, North Gwinnett, 27 points per game, 48% from the three-point line, and 87.1% from the free throw line. Wow. How about Carlos Singleton from Campbell, 33 points per game. Is that right, Carlos? 33? That's not a mistake. 34, he says. Not only a great basketball player, but a future accountant. I didn't finish on your numbers, they're so staggering. 14 rebounds per game. The guy shoots 64% from the floor. Are those numbers correct? Yes, those are correct. Emmett Stevens from East Cowee, 21 points per game. He has 6 steals. Plays good defense. 61% from the field. Unbelievable. Keith Stovall from South Atlanta, 23 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. I'll take his for him. TJ Vines from Etowah, 19 points per game, 5.1 assists per game, and 5 steals per game. Our player of the month is Betsy Foy from South Gwinnett. 19 points per game from the free throw line, 95%. Not bad. Got another 5% to go there, I'm afraid. And she is signed with Georgia Tech, so we'll be hearing about her for a lot of years to come. Daryl Cooper from Redan is our boys player of the month. 23.6 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, and 4 assists per game. Now let's recognize our coaches of the month. A.C. McCullers from Morrow High School, 3-0, the 1996-97 record, won the Thanksgiving Classic Tournament, and USA Today has Georgia's winningest active female coach. And for the boys, it is Rick Francis from Sandy Creek. 8 years coaching in Georgia, second place in sub-region, and all of last year's starters returned. So this man has a solid team indeed. Well, thank you very much. How about a final round of applause for all of our honorees. You know, we're always trying to give the officials a bad deal. Just ask George Carl the other night, right, Coach Wilkins? You didn't see it. He was fined today, I believe $8,500. They're up by 30 on Minnesota, and he goes crazy with about 4 minutes left. So these officials, we must always recognize them at every level. We should not forget them the way I was trying to do. Maybe I should be fined. The Atlanta Tipoff Club and the Atlanta Journal-Constitution presents to Wayne Famberg, Peach State Officials, the High School Official of the Month. And here is your plaque, Wayne. Dick Williams appreciates those officials. The loudest applause of all. Has been an official for a long time. How many years, Dick? 20. Wow. Still in good shape, too. And we also, our high school official of the month is Kevin Thomas. Kevin Thomas is our high school official of the month. Our congratulations. Three more here. From Eagles Landing, we have our Georgia Special Olympian of the month is Chris Lewis from Eagles Landing High School. Congratulations, Chris. The female Atlanta Recreation Player of the Month is LaShondra Brooks. LaShondra has her own cheering section. And our male Atlanta Recreation Player of the Month is Dion Glover. Dion, I'm going to give you a plaque here that has someone else's name on it, but we're going to take care of that. So don't throw that back my way, okay? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for a great time tonight. Thank you, Coach Wilkins, for handing out our awards tonight. Thank you, Scott Barnard, and Tony McIntyre as well. I know everybody here appreciates it. Now our closing remarks from Tim Christian of the Atlanta Tipoff. Tim?
Or Jackie.
Tim is actually going to dismiss you, but I want to make one presentation myself and then recognize a couple of people that I merely overlooked. As you're aware of tonight, we included the AAU teams in the Atlanta Recreation Department. For the last 3 or 4 years, we have done this and bestowed on our director of our Atlanta Parks and Recreation Department this summer, Carl McRae. His department was recognized by the National Recreation Department of the Year by the Amateur Athletic Union. The AAU recognized Atlanta as the Department of the Year. So what we would like to do is to recognize Carl, and Carl, if you'll come on up. Is Carl here tonight?
No, he's not here, but
okay, you come on up. What we'd like to do on behalf of the Atlanta Tipoff Club is to recognize Carl as the Bureau Director for the Recreation of the City of Atlanta and past President of the Georgia AAU. Your leadership skills, program office, and support of AAU brought nationwide acclaim to Atlanta when you received this award at the AAU's annual award banquet, September the 7th, 1996 in Maui, Hawaii. We're proud and elated for you and the Atlanta Parks and Recreation Department, and this is presented by the Atlanta Tipoff Club, and we hope you guys will display this in your department, so we're proud of you. I hope all of you found your lapel pin. This is a Boost Naismith pin. I think we made one available for everybody in the packet there. and we'd like for you to take that home with you. I forgot to recognize two groups of people in my recognition that are probably as important as anybody I mentioned tonight, and that's the people that have made tonight's program possible physically. That is the staff of people that works with my administrative assistant, Michelle Alberson, Pat Riley, Teresa Jones, Carolyn Hazlett, and Diane Gunner. And they, last 2 or 3 years, have done this, and they got many hours in this. So let's recognize them. Now, they did this. Board of Directors of the Atlanta Tipoff Club. Without the board and our sponsors, we literally could not have a club. And their names are in the program, and most of them are seated here. There are 3 or 4 of them not here tonight. Most of them you recognize. Let's recognize our Board of Directors. Jim Smith, Tim Christian will fill in for Jim Williams and say whatever's on his heart and his mission.
Thank you, Jackie and Jeff. Lenny, appreciate you coming to join us in the first program for this basketball season. I agree with Coach Wilkins that attitude is everything, and obviously if you didn't have a great attitude, you wouldn't be here tonight. And thank you so much for having the courage to say what's right or wrong and the difference between them. Drive safely going home, and thank you for sharing this time with us. Good night. basketball.